Hi guys, just checking everything's working sound wise and then we'll get going. So I think everything's working alright this time. On my little bar I can see things moving when I'm talking, so that's generally a good sign. I was going to try and have my my sort of soundtrack playing in the background, but it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, not too sure why that is. We'll get that fixed for the next time. So I haven't done streams for a while, so I'm a bit sort of out of habit on what to do. But yeah, we'll get better. Right, just a few more buttons to click and then I'm going to get going. Right, hi guys. Yeah, let me know that you can hear me okay and I'm not too loud or too quiet. I say fingers crossed. Last time I had things plugged in, I got like one of those little sort of junction boxes where all the USBs go into that and then that goes into my computer. Well, this time I've got the webcam just going straight into my computer. So hopefully that will resolve any sound issues. Basically, that's kind of what I'm hoping. Just having a little bit of music in my ear because that does always help. Yeah, so this one, usual sort of thing. I'll be chatting with you guys. Any questions I'll answer. Talk about anything that I'm building, going to be building, or have built. But while we're doing that, I'm going to be assembling all the stuff that ArttyStation have sent me. You may have seen obviously in my sort of little thumbnail, kind of what it looks like. But if you type into Google ArttyStation and then go and have a look, it's basically like Hobbyzone, but I think better. I'll show you a couple of the units that I've got put together so far. So obviously like the paint stand, which I think is pretty awesome. Yeah, certainly hold lots of paint, and I think I've got about 17 kind of units to assemble. I think I've assembled about 7 or 8. But yeah, basically I've kind of like got quite a lot, which is pretty cool. So if you'd seen what I was using before, it was the Hobbyzone, which wasn't too bad. I mean, I've got one here. Yeah, so the Hobbyzone ones weren't too bad, but they're quite expensive. The ArttyStation ones are a bit cheaper, but I think the quality is better. And the problem with these ones, when these turn up, they're almost like on a sprue. So you get it's like an A4 sheet with all the bits on it, and you basically have to cut them out, which basically took longer cutting them out than it did gluing them. Plus, when you cut them, it's hard to sort of see how well you'll be able to see it really, but some of the bits, obviously I was using like a scalpel, Stanley knife, so you've got to cut these bits of wood, which obviously hard work, and you've got to try and cut them, especially when there's like loads of these. And the edges, again, I don't quite know how well you're going to see it, but that edge isn't flush, it's a bit bobbly. So as good as Hobbyzone is, it's not too bad. It does have obviously a big competitor now in ArttyStation, because obviously all their stuff comes already cut up, which instantly saves you twice or half the time. Plus all the edges are nice and neat, and yeah, I think they just look better. And so I think the build quality of the ArttyStation ones. So here's obviously like just one of the little drawers. But yeah, I think the actual sort of look, the quality, how well it goes together as well. Some of these, again, because you have to cut these, and you're never going to get a straight edge. Some of the joints aren't sort of flush, whereas the ArttyStation one, they're all flush. And so I think just much nicer. Plus it's really weird. It's got a nice smell. Bit of a weird thing to say, but do you know when you get something like a new toy and it has like a new plastic smell? That's what this has. Not plastic, obviously, but it's definitely got some sort of nice new smell to it, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I say a huge box turned up earlier, and again, I'm like a kid at Christmas when boxes turn up with stuff. and basically the empty boxes over there, and I've got loads of boxes down here. I'll get them up actually. So they kind of come in, well, it's like a pizza box. So all the bits come in. Say the box that they came in was well wrapped, and each sort of item inside the box is very well wrapped. And so yeah, the quality of these is just really good. Right, let's have a quick look at who's here, because obviously I've waffled on and I've not actually sort of acknowledged people. So let's have a quick sort of shout out who's here. Andre's here, but he's working apparently. No, he's on a break now for half an hour. Well, that was handy, wasn't it? Zyman's Hobby Workshop. It's good to see you here. 40k guy. Hello, buddy. I haven't seen you for a while. But again, it's probably because I haven't done any streaming for quite a while. Kozar Motion. Again, I'm going to apologise now for any mispronunciations of any names, because I am useless at names, unless they're like John, Paul, David, Ringo, whatever. So yeah, 40k. Budget Scenery Workshop. That sounds like my kind of place. I'm definitely a budget kind of guy. Sound seems fine. Awesome. I know yesterday or the day before I had a few issues, but I think that's because it was going through, say, one of those like junction boxes where you can put 10 USBs into it and then one lead comes out to your computer. And I'm not sure if that was causing some sort of interference or I don't know. But basically I've got the webcam plugged straight into my computer. So fingers crossed, everything's A-OK. Ping is here. Hello. Are the holes covered with clear plastic? No. I know what you mean. Yeah, funny enough, that is the one thing I thought of when I first sort of started putting this together. It wasn't. Obviously, these boxes have got clear plastic, so I can't reach them because they're on the other side. But some of these containers I've got like one of them's got like gravel in it, but it's a very small gravel. Basically, it's the fish tank stones. So yes, obviously you can put stuff in there, and obviously it doesn't fall out. Unfortunately, these ones, it's a clear slot. But what I might do, because obviously some of the drawers are bigger drawers, what I might do is buy some thin plastic and just glue it on the other side. Just because obviously these are obviously intended to keep stuff in. And yeah, some of the stuff I've got is like gravel or small bits, and it would fall out of the holes. So yes, that's the one thing this hasn't got, which is a bit of a shame. But it's not going to cost a lot of money to go and get a few sheets of thin plastic. I mean, yeah, because it could be any kind of like thin plastic to go over that. But yeah. Who else have we got? Andy, is that Mecca? Simon Ronigan or Ronigan. Again, sorry, apologise. Can never go wrong with a nice box. Well, yeah, it's funny enough you say that, 40k guy. That's the first thing I said to my son. So I'll take this out actually. Was this stuff, if it was painted, well, this would obviously work in the Sahara Desert as like a camouflage. But yeah, paint it the old like green and black. And yeah, look, I did. You just can't see I'm here now. Here I am. So yeah. But again, it comes really well packaged. Let's say they all come in like pizza boxes, which is pretty cool. But so yeah, so far, and I've assembled about 8 or 9 of these units already. They go together really well, and I say I don't want to knock HobbyZone because, well, obviously I bought their stuff and I've been using their stuff for the last, I don't know, 8 months, 9 months, whatever it's been, and yeah, no issues, really good stuff. Just like anything, you kind of get used to whatever you're using, and then something else comes along, you try it and think, oh yeah, this is better than the other one. So yeah, so this stuff definitely slots well together. I mean, that didn't slot too bad, I say, but I mean, again, I don't know how well you can see it. There's a bit of a gap there because where I've cut it, I've not been able to cut it perfectly flush. So if you imagine this is quite reasonably thick bits of wood, obviously MDF. So to try and cut this without using like a bandsaw, jigsaw or whatever, just cutting it with a standing knife or blade is quite tough. And yeah, you're not always going to get a perfectly smooth straight edge, which obviously I didn't. But yeah. Koza, do you sleep, man? Because it's 8 and you're assembling an entire hobbycraft store. Well, I say honestly, this turned up this morning. It's one of those things that I knew it was going to be turning up. I just didn't know when, as in what day. So it's turned up, and say I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. It's turned up, and say the box is absolutely huge. But you can imagine that box I just showed you, the pizza box. There was 17 of them boxes inside this big box. So it's turned up, and say I've assembled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've only actually assembled 7 out of 17. So I'm only gonna assemble a few now, because obviously I'm gonna be probably chatting with you guys more than I'm picking stuff up, doing stuff together. But yes, I'm gonna be doing this all tomorrow as well. There's only one problem. So I've got loads of boxes, loads of tissue paper, loads of camo netting, all over the front room. But hey. Good time to pick up a cheap sander. Yeah, again, but the problem is, I mean, if you can imagine, I mean, already I've got what, 5, 10, 15, 20. I've already got 20 of these kind of things already made up. So if you can imagine the time it takes to cut these, then to sand them down, I say honestly, it took longer cutting these bits out than putting it together, which kind of obviously took the fun away, because it took a long time. My wrist and hands were aching. And to then have to go over and like sand them to make them even better, yeah, it just didn't seem worth the time. But as I say, the fact that these have already come pre-cut, nice flat, square, straight edges, yeah, awesome. So yeah, I think I've left a link in the description of who this is. So again, I will try and repeat it every now and then for anyone who new joins. This is like a modular system from ArttyStation. Say go and have a look at their website. They seem to do a lot more sort of different types of units as well compared to HobbyZone, and they also do like an enclosure for a spray booth, which is pretty cool, because then it all links in and ties in and looks all the same, which yeah, I think it's awesome. I was almost going to get the spray station, but because I don't really do a lot of spraying other than when I'm priming stuff outside, it didn't seem worth getting the sort of spray booth, but it does look good. Yeah, Man of War's here. Good to see you, buddy. So you obviously haven't really missed much. I'm just basically, well, I'm going to assemble all my sort of drawers and units, paint stations, and yes, the other thing this comes with, which I think is pretty cool. I've never really had before. I say the ArttyStation really does come with a lot more options of modular systems. Stuff that you probably not even thought about. I mean, I know I hadn't thought about, and it was this. Obviously, it's like a rack that you can just, well, you can put whatever you want in it. But it's got like a bit of board that obviously goes in at an angle. So when you are making something that has instructions, I mean, albeit the instructions for these are pretty simple, but I still like instructions. So yeah, so you just sort of rest your instructions there. It's up there, and yeah, so you got an instructions resting area. As I say, I did kind of get quite a lot of different units. So obviously, if you've seen my videos before, you'd have seen in the background the HobbyZone sort of storage stuff. But the desk I've got is like an L-shaped desk. So I've got one side that I normally do my hobbying bits on, and then the other side is just where I like put bits and pieces that I'm not using at the moment. But I've also got lots of units to put over there as well. So I really am going to be surrounded by lots of these modular systems with lots and lots of drawers, paint holders, brush holders, tool holders, all kinds of stuff really. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, to say the least. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So I'm not going to be doing any painting or model making or any of that sort of thing. I am purely going to be assembling this, and obviously, yeah, chat with you guys if you want to chat, ask questions, or any of that sort of thing. Alright, I'm going to move a few bits out of the way, because I seem to be getting a lot of stuff on my desk. Is there anyone who have to tip 50 quid for recognise and respond to people? Because at least people don't have to tip 50 quid for you to recognise and respond to people. No. Andre's got to go again. Oh, cheers, buddy. Cheers for being here. Chapter Master Lexicus, I'd love to have a hobby station like you have. I'll have to admit, I am, I say the Hobby Zone one I got initially, and it makes things so much easier, because I am one of these people that I like neat, organised areas. As much as doing this hobby can get messy, I don't like mess, so I try and tidy up mess straight away. But to have all these like Hobby Zone, or in this case the ArttyStation modular system sort of around me, and all these like little drawers, I say it's just so nice to have everything at hand and be able to reach it. And I say the fact that I've only got like the drawers set up at the moment, a couple of little paint stations. Let's twist it so you can see a bit more of it actually. So that's kind of what I've got so far. But a lot of the other modular bits and pieces that I've got are for like brushes and tools. There's one that's got like a roll on it, so you can put it's like a tube. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's got like a wooden dowling on it, so you can obviously put like not toilet paper, but tissue paper or something over it. So this is quite a lot of sort of bits and pieces to, well, everything you need to do this hobby with, really. So yeah, again, so I do like things to be neat, organised, everything to have its place, and to be tidy. Well, as tidy as you can be sometimes. 40k guy has a glass table. Oh, easy to clean up. Yeah, I bet. So that's the one thing. I go through quite a few cutting mats, not from the cutting, normally the glue. And again, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you'll see that some stages, or near the end of the stage of a cutting mat, it's just got paint on it, it's got glue on it, you can't see any of the like the markings or the lines, and basically it just looks a mess. And I struggle sometimes to work on a cutting mat that looks a mess. That's why this cutting mat I've flipped over, which is why also there's no markings on here, because this is the back side of it. So something I have started doing now, whenever I order things from Amazon, which is generally every week, I've started now keeping all of these things. Oh. So I don't want to turn it over because my address is on the other side. I'm having problems here. Yeah, so generally I'm keeping all of these now, so when I am painting or gluing, I made a right old hash of this, but never mind. Bosh. I put that down now on top of my desk, just so I don't get all the paint and all the crud and crap and the glue on the cutting mat. Just because every cut, I think this is the third cutting mat I've had, and they get to a stage where I can't work on them. It's not quite an OCD, but it's definitely a case of I work better in a cleaner environment, even though half the time what I'm doing makes a mess. I kind of enjoy making the mess, I just don't like working in the mess. Don't know if that makes sense. Hope so. Okay, so I came in sub to the channel when you did the Mega Construct stuff. And you've been here since through. You're not fond of the 40k. To be honest, I'm not going to be doing as much 40k as I was. A lot more of the stuff I do now, although whether or not this will be interesting to you or not, is Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Just because I'm getting back into that after a break of about 35 years. The audio is kind of terrible, like actually hurts to listen. I'm sorry, Solace, I don't quite know what to say to that, other than, I don't know, turn me off, turn the audio off. Yeah, I don't know what to say, buddy. Because I did listen to it a minute ago and it sounded fine on my phone. So it could be you, maybe. Jamie Wood, does this one have more storage than... It does have more storage, because the Hobby Zone, I had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I had eight units. With the ArttyStation, I've gone a bit bigger, I've gone for 17. So I've gone for 17 individual like storage units. Well, I say individual, obviously a lot of them are going to be the same. But yeah, I've gone for 17 just because I've got an L-shaped desk. So I'm going to have them all in front of me, and these are the ones that you'll generally see bits of in the videos that I make. Because I've got an L-shaped desk, I've got a big area over here where I've got a few sort of shelving, stacking areas. But that's where I'm going to be putting a lot more. Plus in front of me I only go 2 high. To the side I'm going to go 3 high. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more storage areas, which is going to be pretty cool. So I think I will, again, go back to the old these things. When you put stuff in the drawers, it will fall out through the gaps. So I will be getting some sort of clear sheet to put behind. I mean, you can get the real thin, like A4 sort of 3mm sheets for a couple of quid. So I think I'm coming down with a cold, so you may hear me sniffing every now and then, which I apologise for. But yeah. Yeah, so another thing I'll do is say, even though these are simple to put together, I always still have the instructions. And one of the first things I always do is just lay everything out. I get everything that's obviously the same sort of piece, put them all together. Again, it's just because I just find I enjoy sort of the building of everything then. And again, I just seem to like having things organised, neat, tidy, and to hand. And the other strange thing about this setup as well, again, because whenever I get instructions, I always read instructions. I love instructions. With the Hobby Zone one, obviously it said use PVA glue, basically like the kids' sort of white glue. With this one, it says don't use the glue, use super glue. It's probably because a lot of the stuff obviously is kind of like laminated. So the chances are the PVA glue wouldn't really sort of be able to sink into that and then adhere and then glue bits together. Oh, it's weird. I've been final day. Funny enough, I'm sure the last time when I used to sort of do live streams, I was final day, start doing a live stream, and then I'd get a bunged up nose or an itchy nose. It seems to be happening again. Maybe I'm allergic to doing live streams somehow. Sounds a bit weird, but there you go. Right, so that's the back piece, that's the middle piece, that's that piece, and these are the end pieces. Okay, so whatever you do, I'll support you. Well, that's awesome. Cheers for that, buddy. Yeah, so for me, it's the hobby of building things. Obviously not. Well, I'm kind of enjoying building this because this is going to have a good purpose and serves a good purpose. But yeah, I just like making things. So I didn't really want to get stuck into one sort of genre of making something, which I think this channel kind of did in a way with the Warhammer stuff. So I'm not sort of like leaving Warhammer completely. I'm just incorporating other things as well as. I say, because I've got a lot of Warhammer stuff that I've built, but I don't really use it or play with it because I don't play Warhammer. So I find that a bit of a shame that I've got all this stuff and it's never really going to get used. So that's why if you were here for my other stream a few days ago, you'll have seen me painting some little figures, and I just started making some like dungeon floor tiles for Dungeons and Dragons, obviously. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing a lot more other bits and pieces. Oh, I haven't got any tissues either. Well, I've got wet wipes, but generally the audio is a bit bad and out of sync. Again, I'm not. So the only thing that's different between how I'm streaming now and how I streamed, well, 6 months ago when I last did it, OBS had an update. And I don't know if there's anything I need to do to change it. I'm not sure. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, so the audio that I'm using is the thing that I used all the time before, so I'm not too sure why it's not working as well as it should do. Yeah, what I need to do is have a good day and have a little play around with OBS just to see if there are any subtle changes that I wasn't aware of, and I need to obviously change things my end. Simon Ronigan, have I started to play D&D? Almost. In I think 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be playing my first game. As I say, I'm going to do like a little homebrew campaign for the first one, just because the people that I've got to play with haven't played before. So, and obviously I haven't played for a long time. So yeah, we're going to do like a homebrew. I'm going to make it like a starter set. So it really is going to be like nice and basic, relatively simple. Few traps, obviously mobs, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully not kill them off. But yeah, 2 weeks time, I'm going to do one face to face here in my flat. And I think one of the guys is actually a subscriber. But I haven't got his details to hand, so I can't sort of shout him out. Although he might not want to be shouted out. So yeah, so one of the subscribers who lives near me is going to be one of the players playing, which is going to be cool. Alan, allergies. Yeah, well, I normally have hay fever. But this year, I haven't really had it at all. In fact, last year I didn't really get it much. But it seems strange that it'd be turning up now, because obviously now is normally the end of the season for me anyway, for hay fever. But yeah, I'm not too sure. Or maybe it's just an allergy to talking lots, because I don't normally talk lots. So yes, it's quite strange that this one does say don't use PVA glue, use super glue, which is fine by me. So I will use super glue. So say everything does fit in nice and tight as well. Because it does actually say a lot of this stuff you put together you don't need to super glue or glue, but obviously it does make it stronger. Well, it does recommend obviously with these, the little drawers, you need to super glue these, otherwise they would probably just fall apart. But the bigger bits, as you can see, they do fit in real snug. So yeah, they probably don't really need to be glued, but again, I like to make it so it's all secure, it's not going to move, or bits fall off really. And one good thing about this, all the units obviously have the little holes in. So at some stage I will be going around and plonking some magnets in them. Because obviously at the moment they're all like just sat on top of each other, which is fine, and they shouldn't really move unless I give them a bit of a wallop. But yeah, I think having the magnets in there will just make them a bit more sort of secure. Oh, apologies, I'm going to estimate my nose into a wet wipe. Just because I think I'm going to be sniffing and sneezing. Oh. Chapter Master says the sound's better than last time. Yeah, I say last time I had the webcam plugged into one of those sort of units where you can have like 10 things plugged in and then it goes into one other thing. This time I've got the webcam plugged straight into the computer. So hopefully, the sound is going to be better. But yeah, so I need to have a look into OBS just to see if there has been any changes since I last used it. Yeah, so guys, if you're looking for any sort of modular storage unit system, definitely go and check out ArttyStation, because honestly, they do a ton of stuff. I found if I did have someone before I came onto live stream, even when they saw my thumbnail, they said they'd been looking at this because apparently it's cheaper to get this shipped to where they live. So yeah, definitely go and check them out. I think the price of the actual units, I don't think is a lot different from Hobby Zone. I'm not too sure, don't quote me, because I haven't looked for a while. But yeah, I think definitely the shipping, from what someone said, was a whole lot cheaper, which is pretty cool. Coast has got to go to sleep. All right, night, buddy. Cheers for being here. Simon's Hobby Workshop. Would I make stuff like tanks or airplanes in scale? Possibly not. No, obviously other than the sort of like tanks and planes that I've used when I've kit bashed them with the Orcs, to make like sort of World War II or World War One sort of stuff doesn't really sort of interest me. the actual like the making of the model would, but then sort of displaying it or having it on show, possibly not so much. Oh guys, I apologise for my nose. I don't know why. Honestly, I was fine half an hour ago. Before I came on, I was fine, and now my nose is just, well, it's like the old bunged and runny at the same time, which is just bizarre. I'm just going to close a few things down in case I've got too many things going on my computer. Because I know recently I have been having problems where the computer's been going slow. So I'm not sure if that could be why there's a delay in sound or poor quality. Yeah, purely because I think what it is, my computer is a bit old now. I think I've had it for about 5-6 years. So, yeah, because generally when I buy a computer, I always try and buy not quite the top range one, but certainly one that has or exceeds what I need it to do for whatever I need it to do. But obviously after 5-6 years, it doesn't matter how good a computer it was back then, it's going to get slower, because obviously when it gets hot, obviously the components start to wear. So yes, it could be worth me possibly getting a new computer soon. We'll see. Right. Just want to check if it's going well. Yeah, so guys, if you haven't yet already, it would be great if you could hit the thumbs up button, just because obviously that does help my sort of channel out and helps this stream out as well. So I have also filmed some of this prior. Basically, I filmed me getting the box. So I put the box on my desk. Basically, it took up the whole of the desk, and I did have concerns that the desk could take the weight, because the box, I could just about lift the box up. It was super heavy. So I have done some filming and some filming of me, well, kind of what you're watching now, basically. Yeah, so I'm going to put a video out later on this week. Just me obviously unboxing, putting it together, and then basically filling it with all the bits and pieces that I'm going to be filling it with, and just having a little chat about it basically. So yeah, that video should be out later this week. But obviously you guys would have seen obviously me building stuff now. So. As I say, it does. It just fits really snug, which I like. Yeah. Yeah. So it's nice and flush as well. So yeah, definitely. I say I don't want to knock Hobby Zone, but given a choice, if I was to go out and I obviously seen them both next to each other. ArttyStation would definitely be the one that I would go for, just because I think the build quality is nicer. Some of the wood for the actual the units themselves does seem thicker as well. So obviously, yeah, being sturdier is obviously a good thing. And again, the fact that you haven't got to cut this out. So anyone who's just joined, with the Hobby Zone, when you buy it, it almost comes in like. It's almost like buying the sprue with figures. It's a big sort of sheet, and you get all these bits on one sheet, and then you've got to cut them out. So imagine some of this wood, or MDF, is pretty thick. And I was cutting it with a sort of Stanley knife. And literally you have to cut through, but obviously it'll take 3 or 4 cuts for it to go like right through, because you wouldn't be able to do it in one go. But then when you do cut it, it's obviously not going to cut perfectly straight. So you'd have to go over everything and sand it down, which I didn't do because if you can imagine, I made about 20 odd of these little units, as well as 8 of the big units. So to then go around and try and sand it all down was just like, oh, the last thing on your mind. Because it did honestly take longer to cut these bits out than it did to glue them. Whereas these units I've done so far, I've done them really quick. Obviously when I'm chatting to you guys, I'm not going to be doing them as quick. But yeah. Simon, you've got me interested to make new things. That's awesome. That's what I love doing. I love trying new things, and that's what I really love about this hobby. Is people are willing to share what they do online. So anything you want to try, it's like I'm going to be making some trees soon. Because I want to make some trees for obviously Dungeons and Dragons, and just general tabletop gaming anyway. But I've never made them before, so I've been watching other YouTubers to see how they've made them. So I'm going to make some, I think next week, but I'm going to make them. I'm going to make 2 different types. I'm going to make one sort of tree using the sprue goo, so you got old sprues, and the other trees I'm going to make using the hot glue gun sort of method. Well, I don't know if there's a method or not, but that's what I'm going to go doing. It should be pretty cool. Oh man, my nose. It's crazy. There we go, leave that there for the moment, and we'll crack on with a few draws. Alan, are you going to play modules for homebrew background or more homebrew than anything? Because watching you do a Stranger Things D&D 5. Yeah, it's funny, I have seen that Stranger Things box set. The reason I really want to get that Stranger Things box set is because obviously it looks like the old style D&D. Well, basically it looks like the first box that I ever bought. Obviously the red one with that sort of look. And funny enough, I am possibly going to look into doing some live streams. Obviously I need to check with the people that I'm doing the D&D with that they're happy to be obviously in a live stream. But yeah, I will be doing a live stream with them. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I used to play, everything was homebrew. Obviously that's not what we called it back then, because we just called it made up stuff. But obviously these days everything seems to get a name. It's like even like one shots. We didn't call them one shots. We just called it a dungeon you could do in one night or one sitting. So yeah, so I'm going to be. I'm probably going to do some DMing quite a bit first. I say, because the people I've got lined up to do the D&D with haven't played before. So yes, it's going to be quite interesting. So it'll be like a nice slow learning curve for us all. Because obviously I know the gist of what to do, but I don't know all the numbers and the fact there's so many different types of character you can have now, like barbarians and things. When I played, it was pretty much a mage, wizard, cleric, paladin sort of makeup. Apologies, guys, I'm going to be sniffing now. My nose, I don't know why, it's running and it's blocked at the same time, so I apologise. So yes, there will be a lot of homebrew stuff. Plus, I like making my own things up because I like watching movies. So you watch movies like obviously the likes of Indiana Jones and that sort of stuff. So having like traps and a lot of things that need to evade, or not all monsters need to be killed. Some of them you need to actually chat to. Yeah, so I do like making my own. Plus, I find when you make your own, it's a lot easier to be descriptive with what's going on, what the surroundings like, what the scenery's like, rather than having to read a book. Because I think some people, if they read a book, they then might feel that they almost have to say it word for word, as opposed to going out of the box and being a bit more creative. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I have bought the starter set, but that was more for the little the rule book and things in there, just to make it quick and easy to get up and running and started, basically. Oh, my nose. It's probably annoying me as much as it is you now, to be honest. Susan Jensen, hi, how are you? Yeah, new boxes, definitely. Yes, the Hobby Zone ones were good, but I needed more. I needed more boxes for more storage. So I looked around and saw ArttyStation, and they seem to do a whole lot more different types of like modular units. So yes, that's why I've gone with ArttyStation. Just because they do, say, a ton more stuff, and I'm really glad I have, because, say, I am finding putting it together is a whole lot easier. Like I keep mentioning, I won't keep mentioning it. The other system, Hobby Zone, you have to actually cut the bits out. With ArttyStation, every bit comes obviously completely pre-cut, so nice, straight, flat, flush edges. It goes together really, really well. So these big chunky bits, they slot in lovely and tight, which is really good, because then you know it's a nice firm sort of box or unit. So yeah, I'm loving it. So I have got loads. I've got 17 boxes or 17 units to assemble, which is pretty cool. So before I only had, was it 2, 4, 6, 8? I only had 8 sort of units before, and now I've got 17. So yeah, a lot more storage, which, yeah, awesome. Kid in a toy shop. Oh man. Alan, watching about a box, getting boxed, and noses getting boxed. It's all boxing fun. Susan misses D&D so much. I must admit, I am really excited. It's really weird, because in the past, whatever I've built, made, or painted, I've almost done it to make a video from it, basically. The last few days I've been doing lots of painting, lots of making, but not for video, because I've been making lots of stuff for the D&D campaign I want to do. And it's almost been so refreshing to paint something and make something and not have to worry about where the camera is and keep stopping and starting because of moving the camera, and then editing it together to make the video. So it has been really nice and really refreshing to be painting and making something and not have to worry about the camera, because I'm purely making it purely for me and not even for other people to see, which is kind of strange, really, because obviously my channel is about me making things for you guys to see. But it's nice to be able to make things and not have to think that I have to video it. So yeah, so I've really kind of been enjoying that, which is cool. That's not to say, obviously, a lot of the stuff I am going to be making and painting, I will be filming. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing. So yeah, I did mention last time, guys, anyone who lives, obviously anyone in the UK who lives in Hampshire, more so southern Hampshire, which is where I live, I am still looking for a few more players to do Dungeons and Dragons with, because I am kind of old school and I'd want to play face to face. I love technology, I love computers, I love sitting at my desk, but when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, nothing beats sitting around a board or a table. So I've started making loads of dungeon floor plans. I've started printing out loads of figures. I'm painting loads of figures, and obviously I want to be able to roll them dice. So yes, if you're in the Southern Hampshire area in the UK and you fancy playing D&D, send me a message. My email is in the link below. You don't need to have played D&D before. Just a willingness to want to, really. I'm going to turn the sound off while I blow my nose, because I can't breathe now. Well, that's kind of better. I can breathe now. I will still be sniffing though, but I can at least breathe. Someone has to go. Oh, cheers, buddy. Well, thanks for being here. You go and have fun as well. Susan's doing better now, and I hope the nose issue goes away soon. I don't know. Honestly, I'm sure the last times I used to do live streams, I'll be fine, and then half hour before I do a live stream, my nose goes. So I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just nuts. Oh, this is all the way around. There's me not paying attention. Oh, so they all get glue on them anyway, so that's fine. So what's everyone up to tonight then, obviously, other than sort of watching me, I guess? Well, I say tonight, obviously a lot of you guys are probably in America, so it's sort of early afternoon, or afternoonish. You guys up to anything nice out there? Arthur Lionheart, hiya. How are you? Are you okay? So basically I'm assembling lots of storage units that I've recently got from ArttyStation. So there's a link in the description. So far, first impressions, fantastic. Again, I keep saying this, but I don't want to like diss or put down Hobbyzone because their stuff is good. But I do think ArttyStation is better. Yes, I am sort of hoping that I'm possibly going to be doing some sort of collaboration with ArttyStation. And if I do, and they obviously give me a link so you guys can get a discount off stuff, I will obviously let you guys know as soon as. Because obviously every little bit helps, doesn't it? Getting some money off stuff. Yeah. So say the only not exactly drawback, but the only thing I could give more points to Hobbyzone for than ArttyStation is the fact that their boxes have open slits, which for a lot of stuff you put in here, no issues. But I do keep gravel in some of my boxes. I say gravel; it's like the little stones you get in the fish tanks. But so the Hobbyzone one does have a little bit of clear perspex. Obviously, it's no big issue because obviously I can go out and get some clear perspex for these, and it's not exactly going to cost much. And I will get some and put it on the inside, just so that I can. Well, for one, you'll be able to see what's in there, and two, obviously, it's not going to fall out. But yeah, that's the only comment I can make that would be a negative towards ArttyStation is there isn't any clear perspex in here. Obviously, that being said, I should really assemble everything first, just in case in amongst one of these boxes is loads of clear perspex, because then obviously they've got it covered. But at the moment, that's the only sort of downside I can see in any kind of way to the ArttyStation, is their drawers not having perspex behind. Say no big issue because it's not going to cost much to rectify that. Oh man! Oh, let's have a quick look. I feel very strong IKEA, yes, vibes. Yeah, I would say this is obviously a lot easier to put together than a lot of IKEA stuff. This is quite simple, and yeah, simple, and it's going together really quick and really easy. Manarega, hi, hope the build is going okay. Yeah, build's going great. It's just my nose that seems to be causing some issues because it's bunged up and running at the same time, which isn't very good. Zymer's Hobby Shop, he needs to go and have some fun. You go and have some fun, buddy. Susan, yeah, it's 3:45 in New York. He'd been for 2 days working on a new to be gaming laptop. Oh, okay. Got Skyrim's anniversary editions. Lots of gaming coming up. Awesome. Offman, don't know if you answered this last stream since I had to go before I saw it. Weren't you making a D&D book cover? Yes. Did you not see me bring it back out? Oh, you didn't see it. I am making a book cover. Yeah, bear with me 2 seconds. I'll go and grab it because you did ask last time. I did go and get it, but I'm kind of guessing you possibly weren't there when I brought it back. Let's just plug me earphones back in and say, cause I can't seem to do things without some sort of sound or music going. Yeah, so this is obviously what I was working on. It's another one of those things. I'm quite good at starting things and then getting distracted and seeing something else and then working on something else first. So this, I kind of started this, I don't know, 6 months or more ago. I really don't know when I started this. It's going to make a book cover. Obviously, this is the iconic sort of front cover of the D&D basic set that I first bought back in 1980. I think I bought it. So I'm making a book cover. So I'm making it out of the like polymer clay. Basically, by just sort of going over obviously the picture. At the moment, I've just got like the rough basic shapes on there, which is why it's kind of like pretty flat. But then go over it, put all the detail into it. Then I was going to make a mould of this and then cast it in plastic. So obviously it would be like a nice thin, lightweight plastic that you could obviously then just stick on books. So that's something I sort of started, put to one side. I may now pick it back up because obviously I want to get into D&D. So it would be quite cool to have this rather on like a book cover or even like the D&D screen, because I want to make my own screen. So that's something I'll probably be doing at some stage. This would be quite cool to put on the front of that. You're going to go for lunch turned up. Oh no. I bought this out, gave a good old spiel about it, and you weren't there. Oh bless. So I will be making, or will be carrying on with this at some stage, because I have part filmed this. It's quite a few things that I've part filmed and they're not done anymore with. So some things will get put on the bookshelf or whatever it is, and then I will bring them out and sort of finish them off eventually. And that is definitely going to be one of them. It's a bit like, I don't know if you were there, Arthur, when I mentioned about... Does anyone recognise this? I'll get it nearer the screen, but I don't know if that focuses. So anyone recognise this? So, the good old Lonely Orc Tavern. It's going to get a bit of a rehaul, even though it wasn't actually completed. It has now been bulldozed down, lying in a big old rubble. I saved this, obviously. So I'm going to be remaking the Lonely Orc Tavern, even though I hadn't actually completed it, or I'd only completed one level. The reason for that is, as much as I liked what I had done, I then didn't like the style of it and how it was going to eventually look. And I think the reason being, my initial plan for the Lonely Orc Tavern was to make it look like it was built from loads of different buildings just sort of shoved together, because obviously it was built by orcs. But now I want to make a tavern that would fit in with D&D and just sort of your generic sort of medieval style tavern, which is why I'm going to be making another tavern. So everyone who sent figures in, thank you so much for sending the figures in. I've got them. They are sitting over there, and they will populate a tavern one day. So I am going to be making the Lonely Orc Tavern, but starting afresh. So this is the only thing that I've got left from it. I basically took it down, broke it up, and it's in the bin. Because again, sometimes I build things and then I'm not feeling it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not liking the direction it's going in, so I stop. And I did that with the Lonely Orc Tavern. And then I kind of got to a stage where I thought, I'm not going to ever pick it back up because I'm not going to enjoy building it the way I initially planned. So yes, I will be making a tavern. This is a long story short. I will be making a tavern. It is going to be called the Lonely Orc, and it is going to be populated by you guys and the figures that you sent in. So I think I've got about 9 or 10 figures. So I've got quite a lot of people to put in this tavern. So thank you so much for everyone who has sent these things in, because it would have been months and months months ago. But yeah, so that is the only thing I've got left from the Lonely Orc Tavern and your characters. Carl Chaos. Yeah, I hope you got a note, buddy, to say you're late. No, it's good to have you here. I don't mind people turning up whenever, obviously. Yes, the tavern, the ruined. Well, it's definitely the ruined tavern terrain, because it was. I had to kind of like break it down to actually fit it into the bin, because obviously it's quite big. So yeah, the Lonely Orc Tavern is no more. Poor Lonely Orc. he's getting even lonelier. The Lonely Orc. He hasn't even got anywhere to live now. But hey ho. Well, that being said, he has obviously. The Lonely Orc has now got 3 friends. Obviously, these I started painting in the other one. Again, it's not even worth me putting it near the other camera because they just don't focus. I will be finishing them off sometime this week, I think. I hope. But yeah, so I do like to have 3 or 4 sort of projects on the go, just because sometimes if I'm working on something, the paint needs to dry, so I have to leave it. Or if I'm doing something with sprues, then I have to leave them like 7-8 hours or more to rather solidify or gummify or whatever. Oh, pardon me. Oh, my nose. All right. Let's get this one glued. Yeah, so guys, if there's anything you want to see on this channel, by all means let me know. Especially if it's something I haven't done before, because I like trying new things, which is why I say, I don't know if it's going to be this week or probably next week now, I think. But I'm going to have a go at making some trees. Just for like, obviously for terrain and all that. But yeah, I've never really made trees before. So it's going to be quite fun to have a go. So yeah, if there's anything you want to see me make, yeah, by all means let me know. Because I do like, yeah, I like trying new things out. After not so lonely now. No, he's well, he's not so lonely, but he's got nowhere to live. Yeah, poor Orc. Rick Van Soul Kemmer. Really enjoy your vids. First time watching you live though. Cool. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, well, it's probably because I haven't really done many live videos for quite some time. I think I did do a stage of maybe 2 months where I was live streaming at least once a week. And I think there was 1 week where I did sort of 3 or 4 live streams when I was building the Orc Stomper. Yeah, then I kind of stopped doing them for a while. No real reason, just sort of didn't do it really. So yeah, so what I'm doing now is, because the problem I had with live streams was having to obviously think of what I could do on a live stream, and then having to try and get everything that I needed around me. Because normally I have stuff that's over there, I have stuff in the kitchen behind me. But But obviously I can't get to the kitchen right now because the door is literally right behind my seats, but I've got the green screen pulled down. So that was the other reason why when I do a live stream, having to make sure I've got everything I need here, because I've got it's only a small kitchen, but half the drawers and cupboards in my kitchen contain hobby stuff. So yes, that's my reason why obviously I can't go in and out like I normally would, because I've got the green screen pulled down. So what I might do now is things like this, things that I'm building, just do a live stream of. Obviously I'm going to be doing a lot more painting now of minifigures, which is something I didn't really ever do, which is why I always used to sort of say I'm not a very good painter, and obviously I'm not. But the reason I'm not a good painter is because I don't really paint much. So now I've got a 3D printer, and obviously getting into D&D, I've got a lot of little minifigures that I want to obviously print out. So yes, I'm going to be doing a lot more painting. So they're the kind of things that I can stream. Because the other thing is, anyone here who's been in my streams before knows that when I do a stream, I kind of chat and waffle more than I sort of work on something. So even though I might say I'm doing some painting, I might only paint half the figure, if that, in a 3-hour live stream, just because I chat a lot. He can live in the trees, become a tree orc. Fight in the trees of the dark elves. Yeah. Is that Diorama AI correct? It's ticking me off. Not sure what that is. Right, yeah, so that's that one done. Right. Yeah, to say, I think the quality of these is really nice. Very sturdy, nice and thick. Because these are, again, going back to the difference between these and Hobby Zone, these are thicker. They're thicker, so they slot in lovely, and they're lovely and sort of smooth and flush. I should become a sales rep for these, shouldn't I? Anyway, I'm sort of talking about them and bigging them up, but no, they are. They're really they're really good quality and really well made. And I've got 17 of them, which is cool. Right, so for the moment I'm going to stick them up there. I'm not going to put them in just in case the glue isn't fully dried. Right. What one shall I get next? Oh, yeah, let's get this one. So a lot of the ones I have been putting together have been very simple, very easy, because they are just basically like a cupboard with obviously drawers in. So this one's a bit different. So let's get rid of that instructions. So pizza boxes, like pizza time. So this one, I mean, this one's pretty cool because this one's obviously a paintbrush holder. Again, I don't know how near I can get that. Yeah, lots and lots of paintbrushes, a few rollers, presumably for tools, and then obviously some sort of paint pots in these. So yes, this is quite a smart looking one, just because it can hold so many brushes, which is pretty cool. And again, for anyone who's just turned up, the packaging of these is awesome. Obviously, the pizza box, this comes in nice and tight in the pizza box. The pizza box came in nice and tight in a huge big box. As I say, there were 17 pizza boxes I had turned up earlier. And yeah, it was like my birthday. Well, if anything, it was better than my birthday, because on my birthday I don't really get anything. Well, you don't when you're older. So yeah, so to get all this stuff was pretty cool. Slyrox1, hello Slyrox1. Hope you're well in whatever you're doing. I'm fine, apart from the last hour my nose has decided to get bunged up and runny. So yeah, other than that, I'm good though. Hope you're all good. My Callow Kenny. Haha. Yeah, budget seemed to be plenty. Yeah, look good and plenty of storage. Yes, there is. I'll say yeah, because now I am now getting more and more. I say, because I want to be making trees, so I've got loads of like shrubbery. I've got loads of obviously the grass to do like the basin. I've got loads of little stones. So yeah, again for me to have all these drawers around that I can just sort of reach out and grab all the bits I need is just really, really nice. I say I am one of these people. I'm very methodical and logical, and that's why I like instructions. I like following step-by-step guides, but I like to have everything to hand. Everything has its own place. Everything looks neat. So yeah, that's why I say I'm loving having all this storage. It's just so nice. Yeah, so I may need to go now and get loads more paints because I've got all this storage. I've got quite a lot of paint, but I need more. You can never have too much of anything, really, can you? Right, let's get this out. So I say this is something I've never ever used or seen or knew about before. So this was one of the units that came today. Obviously, you can use it for anything. You can put like a magazine in there, put your iPad in there, whatever you want. But obviously, it is also a case of you get your instructions or whatever you're building, whatever you're making, whether it's an Airfix sort of set or whatever. And yeah, stick it in there, stick it on top of the other units. It's not on your desk, but you can see it clearly. So yes, I think I'll actually use this for my iPad. Because normally I have that sort of sitting there. Well, I'm not saying that now. Normally I don't have it at all. Normally my son's got it. But yeah, the iPad could go in there as well. So pretty cool. So yeah, again, I should be a sales rep. Go and have a look at ArttyStation because they do a wide variety of modular units. So much more than I've seen at Hobbyzone. As I say, again, the fact that they do it's like a spray booth. You need to get the extractor fan bit, but it's got the spray booth bit there with like glass opening doors, and obviously it all sort of fits in and ties in with the look of all this stuff. I nearly got it, but I say I don't really do enough spray painting to warrant getting a spray booth thingy. More for the amount of room it would take up than the price, because I just wouldn't really use it. So I'd rather have like more drawers and stuff really. Well, this is nice because obviously if you have seen recently, I have got lots of brushes from Artiscapade because they are one of my sponsors now. They don't sponsor like a video as such. They just sort of sponsor me as a whole, and obviously supply me with brushes. And their brushes, so I've been using them now for the last 5-6 weeks, and yeah, lovely brushes. Really nice to hold on to as well. So yes, I've got loads of these, so it's nice to have somewhere where I can put all of them, because at the moment they're sort of here and there. So yeah, to have this little unit is going to be really nice. What's going on there? Who's hungry? I made you hungry now. Have I made you hungry? So no, I'm always hungry. It's a bit of a pain because I'm trying to lose weight at the moment. And when you're feeling a bit hungry, it kind of, yeah, it makes that hard work. Right, so this is one I do have to concentrate on because all the others, so they're all self-explanatory box, big box, little box, cardboard fish or whatever. Nice. It's big fish, little fish, isn't it? Cardboard box. Anyway, so this one's a bit different. Especially, as I say, I'm going through and I'm gluing it. So you do need to make sure you're gluing the right bit to the right bit. Otherwise, well, I would say you'd come unstuck, but obviously you won't come unstuck because it's glued. So let's have a little looky. Is that definitely, yeah, that's page 1. So now I feel hungry now. You mentioned you feeling hungry. I don't quite know how that's worked out. Susan could use some of the boxes that hold boxes of stuff. Ah, more box holders, so I should check them out. So honestly, they do seem to have so many different types of units. Yeah, which is awesome. I'll say this one's definitely gonna be a good one because it does seem to have obviously the paint brushes and a few other little bits and pieces with it, which is really cool. All right, so what am I trying to do? Right, it's these ones I need. All right, let's put things where I can see them and get hold of them. That's the front, that's the back, that's one side, that's the other side, looks like that's the front, yeah, that's the front, oh, pardon me, and then all of these bits, oh, let's hold that back, there we go, so it's one of these. This is a centre bit. Don't mind me. This is just me talking to myself. Although, obviously, I feel like I'm talking to myself anyway because I can't see you guys. So I'm here sitting in a room on my own, talking to myself. Right. So that one goes in there. So it's got one of them. Oh, this is why I need to bring this nearer me because I wear glasses. So two of it. So there you go. So it's 3 different ones, 3 on each side. There we go. That one's at the front. That way up. That one. Oh, yeah, it's got to follow the holes, isn't it? There we go. Cool. Yeah, you always need more paint. Rule number 1 for miniature painting, says Rick. Yeah, not wrong. Make sure to shake your paint. Yeah. Make sure you do it some more. Yeah, shake. Always thin your paint. I do, but I should do it more. Don't always fill my paint. Alex Loraz, hello. Good job. Cheers. Yeah, with water, 2 thin coats. What I say, I am now watching. Cause I've always watched YouTubers that paint, but I've kind of watched them, but not watched them fully, and I've not really tried a lot of what they do. Whereas now I am going to be painting more miniatures, so I am watching more YouTubers and taking more notes on what they do, basically. Arthur's got to go. Oh, you take care. Hope you have a good day, evening, night, whatever it is you're doing. Have fun with the building. I am having fun with the building, yes. Just because I know I'm going to be able to fill all this storage up with loads and loads of fun stuff, and it'll be nice and easy to work with. Right, so it is saying glue these bits in first. And it's definitely, yes, definitely this one. Right, here we go. Eyes down, full house. Let's get some gluing done. So guys, for the streaming, because I am going to try and start doing more streaming now, do you think I need to have some sort of like background music playing just for those times where I'm not talking? So when I'm not talking, is it like too quiet? Would you prefer me to have some sort of background music going, just so there's something there? So yeah, let me know if you think there should be sort of music in the background. So obviously I've got background music going on my ears. Well, I'm kind of guessing that a lot of you guys that are obviously here watching, doing other things at the same time. I doubt there's many of you, if any, that are just sort of watching. I mean, are you obviously school, work, home, chilling, outside, inside? It's always nice to know what you guys are doing. Susan has an Interlab shaking machine. Ah, yeah. I don't know if that's the one. I've seen a few machines that you put the pot into and it, well, vibrates it like nuts. Rick, I did try and get the music that I put on my videos. I did try and have that so it was playing in the background. But again, for some reason, the OBS, I haven't used it for about 6 months or more. There's an update, so I updated it. It got rid of all my old settings, and there's bits on it that seem very different from how I used to work it. But so I need to sit down with OBS and have a good old good old play with it, really. I mean, if I did have music, the music would definitely be very, very quiet. It's just because I know sometimes when it does go quiet and there's no sound, it's almost like definitely quiet because it's too quiet. But yeah, I'm going to try and possibly put some music on, because what I can do is obviously put the music on really, really quiet. If people don't like it or get annoyed, I can just turn it off. So obviously I'm sitting here, I've got obviously music in my ears, just because I can't sit here with no music, because I find it too quiet. Susan's been chatting with another friend in Messenger. Right, this is where I need to try and get this onto here. Let's stick that on there first. This is where I need a bigger desk. Obviously, the other problem I have here is normally I would stand up and look down. But if I did that right now, all you'd see is my bald head in the screen. Right. It looks to be the right way. Right, this is the front, that's the back. Alan, MTG deck prototyping. D&D 5e strive. Rewrite. Wait to do a chairlift decathlon. What the hell's a chairlift decathlon? Yeah, I've got a clue there. You may need to explain a bit more there, Alan. I'm intrigued. Rick says, if I don't talk, you can hear the cars driving past. I'm not sure what would sound better, the cars or me. Slyrock's one is just watching, although you got food poisoning. Oh no. God bless you. You got food poisoning. God, I think I've only ever had that once. And that was a long time ago, and that was somewhere, I don't know, like Spanish holiday or something like that. I'm not too sure where it was. But yeah, I've only had food poisoning once, and that was, I think I only had mild food poisoning. And yeah, that was horrendous. Obviously, it's one way of losing weight quick. Obviously not the right way, but... Oh, sorry, Rick, you're saying the car's here. I would say it's, well, I don't know, saying that. Yeah, saying that. It could be the car's here. Obviously, I've got my earbuds in, so I can't hear. Who knows? The cars could be where you are. Could be where. Lawsian, what glue are you using? I'm using super glue. I know that seems strange, but with this set, the instructions, it does say, don't use PVA, use super glue. The main reason probably is because quite a lot of the parts are laminated, so super glue wouldn't work on these. But yeah, this one says use super glue, so I'm just using the super glue that I buy from Amazon. It's nice and cheap. These big bottles, 50 grams, and I think it's £3.20, something like that. So yes, obviously these last ages. Yeah, so super glue goes. This is definitely one of the cheapest ones I've had, and the good thing with this one is it's super glue, but it takes 10. Well, this one's 10 to 30 seconds. I think the one I normally use is 5 to 15. So it's not like as soon as it touches it dries. You get a few seconds to move it if it's not quite in the right place, which is quite handy sometimes. Rightio. Let's see. Are you going to fit nicely, or are you going to mess about? Oh, it messed about. Let's do that. Where did you fall out? This probably would have been the better way to do this anyway, wouldn't it, really? Oh, this is the one problem about wearing glasses. Oh man, I'm a right old mare here. I'm going to have to stand up. I'm going to say, I'm trying to do this sitting down. I can't see what's lining up at the top. Oh, if I can get room. Oh man. It's like one of those Krypton factor thingies. You need about 500 hands. Right, let's start from there. I'm going to stay standing because this is going to be easier standing. Well, I did say earlier on this is one of the harder of the units to put together because there's so many little bits. So I think some of these things, to try and build them sitting down, is probably a little bit silly. There we go. Let's just hold that for a little bit. Yeah, that's all in. There we go. Just a bit more glue on that little fella. Whew. And there we go. Yeah, cool. Right, let's get my earbuds back in. See if you guys have been laughing at me on the screen. Right, what's Alan? 5 flights of stairs up and down with different chairs for one day. Blimey. Oh well, keep you fit though, won't it? Ninja Ginger, hello. How are you? Right. Looks like everything's in, everything's flush. But it's going to fall out. Cool. Ah, that wasn't too bad in the end. Right. Let's turn the page, although there's not a lot left to put on. In fact, it's only really the back needs to go on. This needs to go on. That seems a little bit weird. I wonder why these bits are raised. Because this isn't sort of obviously interlocking, it's just resting on them. Who knows? Yeah, it's just slotting quite nice. And kind of shows these both just into one. Ah, I'm kind of obviously I'm reading the instructions. Well, I say reading. I'm looking at the pictures on the instructions. Obviously, this is one of those ones where, well, you put a tube of whatever on this, whether it's cling film, paper. The old silver foil would go well on that. Put it through, lay it on there. Obviously, then the other one goes on top, just to kind of well, keep them together. So obviously you have whatever it is feeding through there. So you can just pull it off, rip it, whatever. That's quite cool. Yeah, it's quite cool actually, because obviously for cleaning brushes and stuff. Although it'd have to be a thin old what's it, because obviously it would hit those. It doesn't seem to go any lower than that. Not sure. Oh yeah, it says on there foil roll holder. Aluminium foil cutting thingy. Paintboard holder. Cool. This is why a bit of a dumb moment. I was looking and it's like, what's this? I've got a bit left over. It's like, no, Johnny, that goes on top. Crazy fool. I pity the fool. Alright. How are we done on time? 9:30. That's not too bad. Yeah, just before 10 I'm going to finish. And although, to be honest, this stream might not seem like it, but I've probably got more done in this stream than I have in any other stream ever. Normally, because I do more chatting and definitely a lot less building, painting or whatever. I mean, at least I've completed 2 units in 2 hours. So seriously, though, these do go together obviously a lot quicker when you're not filming, you're not chatting, you're just building them. So I built 8 units, and I probably almost built those 8 units in the same time that I built these 2, but purely because obviously I have been chatting. So it is, it's lovely and snug, which is cool. And then obviously the last bit for the back. Seems to be super snug. Must be a little bit askew and not quite 90 degrees. That's an awkward little piece, that, isn't it? Doesn't want to stay in. Yeah, there we go. That's quite cool, that, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Right, there's one more done. Only another. What have I got left? About another 6 or 7. Well, I'm kind of running out of space to put them because a lot of these storage units are going to go to the right of me. But I've currently got like an old plasticky storage unit over there at the moment. So yeah, so a lot of these are going to go over there because this one's going to be more painting and brushes and little holders with a few obviously storage units, and then the one to my right will purely be lots and lots of storage. So I have recently gone out and bought quite a lot of the fake grass for the basin, the little stones, and some it's like the bushes and shrubbery to make the trees and sort of stuff with. So I've got lots of that, which would be cool because that can obviously all go in these kind of drawers, which is pretty cool. Right, so I need to really put that somewhere. For the moment, I'm just going to leave that. Oh, let's take them out. I'll leave them there. I'll put brushes back, and I think what we'll do for the last 15 minutes or so is I'm going to loads more of these to go. Rick Van Solkema has to go. You've enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you better stop by for another one. Yeah, I hope so too, buddy. I'm going to start doing more of these. I'm not going to like set certain dates because I can never really stick to them because things come up. But generally, streams for me, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and some Sundays. So, but yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays are generally evenings where I don't do anything or I don't have anything planned. So they're the ones where if I am painting something and I'm sitting here chilling on my own, then I'll do a stream, and obviously if anyone wants to pop by and watch, they kind of can. But yeah, so yeah, about another 10-15 minutes. Going to do a little bit of these, and then I'm going to finish. Dutchy, do I ever use Everbuild super glue? Just searched for it on the Dutch Amazon. Costs £9.5. Oh wow. Is that the one I use? Oh no. Oh no, it is Everbuild. Oh wow. Yeah, that's the problem. Obviously, different places, different prices. Say, because obviously I'm in the UK, and say I'm sure this is something like £3.28p for the 50 gram one, which obviously lasts quite a long time. I mean, even like doing these where I'm using quite a lot of glue, that'll probably still last quite a long time. So yeah, you can never have enough little storage sort of bins. Hey, yeah. Oh, it's so bizarre. So I kind of reckon that when I stop streaming, probably half hour after I stop streaming, my nose will probably clear up. It normally does. Ninja Jim, will we see the Orc Avengers? I'm not sure. I know, yeah. Again, this goes back to me having lots of ideas of certain things I want to build, want to make, little themes and mini-series. And obviously, yeah, turning the Orcs into superheroes was definitely something that was on my list. I'm not sure if, well, it will still be on my list. It's just whether or not I'll get round to it on my list. I say because I am going to be moving more towards sort of just general tabletop gaming, and obviously Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, plus the Orcs I'm going to be sort of more doing now are the, well, what I would call original Orcs, that's spelt with a C rather than a K. A bit like those three sort of Orc maidens that I'm painting at the moment. The three Orc ladies that are pretty buff and muscular. Probably doing more of them kind of things as opposed to the Warhammer sort of Orcs, I guess. Susan's used the crazy glue, Gorilla Glue, and a brush glue. Yeah, I've only got using lots of the glues. The brush ones, I kind of like the brush glue until the brush sort of broke off, and that happened twice. So yeah, I kind of prefer these ones, especially obviously these ones. And then I've got a pack of the nozzles, and the nozzle initially the nozzle is out there. It's about 3 inches long. Obviously, it's very, very thin at the end, and it's difficult to squeeze it all the way up. But having the nozzles is great, because the thing I like about the nozzles, I don't have to put the lid back on. Because the nozzle opening is very small, it doesn't seem to dry up. Obviously, the glue on the outside does, but the hole never seems to dry up, which is great because it means I can just sit that on the side, don't have to put the lid back on, but when I need it I can just squirt. So yeah, I do prefer these bottles and the long nozzles now, just because, again, say for ease really, not having to put the lid on. When that does get, if it does get bunged up, I can just throw that away and put another nozzle on, because the bag I bought, I think I must have had about 50 nozzles for a couple of quid. So yeah, good value for money, and obviously lasts a long time. Yeah, the Gorilla Glue with the cap on and it dried up. Yeah, so that's kind of the problem I had a lot with the glues before. I mean, even this glue, before using these nozzles, with this glue, like I say, putting the lid on, eventually some of the glue would end up getting into the lid, so when you try to tighten it up, it wasn't a proper secure lock. But yeah, so I don't understand how or why these don't block up. I mean, it's obviously got to be the fact that the hole at the top is so small, and the density of the glue or whatever it is, yeah, it just doesn't seem to dry up, which is awesome. But I say the fact that you haven't got to take the lid on and off is even better. Oh. Yeah, what I'm going to do, guys, actually I'm going to finish off, once I've done this one, I'm going to call it there, just so I can get a few other bits and pieces done. Yeah, Ninja Ginger, I've done that as well. They say that sometimes the lid gets glued on, and then you have to get the old pliers out to sort of twist it and all that. So again, it's another reason why it's great having a nozzle on there. No lid, doesn't dry up. Perfect. Right, so yeah, I'm going to hold this, and once this is dried, then I'm going to call it. So cheers, guys. Thanks for joining me while I've well, been gluing together some units and some drawers and bits. So I can't wait to get them all done. The whole of my desk is going to be full of units and drawers, so I really will be able to sort of pack them out full of stuff. I say, because I am buying more and more sort of brought terrain bits and pieces, as in like foliage, grass, stones, all that kind of stuff. So yes, it'd be good to have lots of storage to put them bits in, as well as a lot of the figures I'm printing out. I'm going to be using these to store figures, like D&D figures as well. So I can have like a drawer full of sort of certain monsters and a drawer full of other characters and yeah, other bits and pieces. So yeah, I don't think you can never have really enough storage. You'll always, doesn't matter how much you have, I think you'll always fill it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done already, if you can give this a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. And yeah, dropping a comment at the end would be cool too. So yeah, cheers, guys. Have a good week. I will catch you all later on. Yes, I might do another stream Thursday possibly. But yeah, Dutchy, what I am doing, I am actually filming me putting this together, the whole unboxing, and yeah, once it's all done and it's all full of the paints, brushes, bits and pieces, then yeah, I will be there'll be a video of that coming out probably later this week. Yeah, to sort of show how it looks and how well it sort of fits in with what I'm doing. So cool, good stuff.